2D Board Gamers. My name is Dave.
Robbie Grinch.
Yes, sorry for the late start. We're having some technical difficulties, but I'm not sure why the Grinch is here for GI Joe. But
Because we haven't seen him yet, so I'm Grinchy. You're on my naughty list.
okay, so what? You hate everybody. At least I don't live in Whoville. Um, Anyways, so this is that you can ignore that card. That was a test. Oh, that's we're this is a unboxing for GI Joe Crimson Veil,
Oh, my heart's growing. My heart's growing.
and I also got the bonus box. So we are going to. Oh, well, his heart's growing. I don't know what he's doing.
Whoa!
He turned into
I turned back into Dirk.
okay, and he still has the Grinch hands.
Oops.
Okay. Well, anyways, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the box, and then I will switch to another view to look at the cards. But so first of all, let's look at the expansion box. So GI Joe is one of our favorite games,
It is, yeah.
and I know very little about this expansion. I just heard from Renegade that a new one was coming, and I kind of don't know. I think Jinx might be one of the leaders, but other than that, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, I actually might know more about this one than Dave, I think, for a
Yeah.
change. But I've been looking forward to this one. I've been hoping it would get here before our cruise. And even though we weren't originally planning on something today, this showed up. So we're like, oh, let's get together and do this.
Okay, so yeah, so we got the oops, wrong camera. So we got the booklet here, and I'm just gonna see if there's any. So we got 21 new cards, 8 Cobra officer card operation cards.
Yep.
Cobra operative cards.
We got some
Okay.
new dice.
10 compilation cards, 4 leader cards, 36 mission cards, 10 Cobra transport cards, 2 locust cards, 2 expert mode cards, the general giant card, and the intel mission tile, some intel dice, and some damage tokens. So we're getting some components from Capture the Flag. So we've got 2 missions in here, and mission 10 is General Bedlam. To provide the counter to Cobra's growing threat, the Joes have set out on an ambitious project, a powerful mobile base to bring the fight to Cobra, wherever they may hide. However, Tomar and Zaymont have caught wind of the plan via their network of spies and agents. Using the infiltration and subterfuge, the twins instead to disrupt the Jedi's plans and present a gift to Cobra Commander himself.
There's somebody in chat, but I can't find my phone to respond to him.
Oh,
Hey, Eric.
Hey, we got Eric
Edwin.
and
So
Edwin.
I can't put it in chat just yet until I find my phone. But these are
right
not
there.
role-playing games. No, it's there it is. Yeah, it's that phone. Okay, I got too many phones.
Yeah, we were running into some technical issues earlier today, so
This is kind of we weren't originally planning this, so it's quick. But these are card games. They're deck builders, deck builders. They are not role-playing games.
yeah. So
There is a GI Joe role-playing game by the same company, Renegade Games, but this is not it.
yeah, and also Merry Christmas, Eric, as well.
I think I said that. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
I don't know. We're a little disorganized right now. Using infiltration and subterfuge, the twins intend to disrupt the Joe's plans and present a gift to Cobra Commander himself, permanently enhancing Cobra's military might. So that's episode 10, General Bedlam. And then mission 11 is Operation Crimson Veil. Strange things have been happening recently around the globe. Inexplicable decisions from world leaders, increased acts of apparent state terrorism, and more. Cobra has infiltrated international governments and organizations within the chameleon-like Crimson Guard. So we got the Crimson Guard, which was an option in Capture the Flag. So they're permanently in this one now, apparently. Fighting back will be difficult when you don't know who might be sending intel to the enemy, but the world depends on it. Tomax and Zaymont, diabolical machinations. Wow, I can't even read this. Have cloaked the world in a crimson veil. Okay, so I'm just gonna see if there's any new keywords before we just jump into the components. So yeah, we do have the general setup. So there's a giant size card near the play area. Okay, so we'll see what that does. Intel Dice and Missions, and then Undercover Crimson Guard, and then the General is a powerful new tool for the Joes to use, gaining and repairing damage. So it looks like the General will take damage just like the Flag does. So this is the General. The General is the base, right? Yeah, okay. So this is the General. Right here. If I can get it pointing right with this camera. And the locations, so this is very similar to the base that we had in one of our expansions. So we got the helipad, which is place one locus here at the start of the game, or when in hand during your turn. Locus here can join missions starting with other transports. So Edwin, a card game, it's not exactly like Pokemon or Magic. This is what's called a deck building game, where everyone starts with a similar deck, and then you purchase cards during the game that improves your deck. So if you ever heard of Dominion or like Marvel Legendary, it's a game like that.
Yeah, and the Dominion and Marvel Legendary are a little different as well, because with Dominion, you know all the cards available at the beginning. Marvel Legendary, it's a certain subset of cards, but they kind of rotate through a little bit. This one, they're kind of, you have a set group at the beginning of the game, and you may or may not see half the cards.
Yeah, and so Pokemon is
constructed.
Well, like, it looks like Eric answered too. So Pokemon is like Magic, and like my favorite game, Marvel Champions, where you actually build a deck and then you go up against an AI or another opponent. Like, well, Marvel Champions is cooperative, so you build your decks and you go up against a villain. But like Magic or Pokemon, that's where you build your deck and you go head to head against another player. This particular deck building game is cooperative. There are competitive deck building games, but where everyone would start with the same deck and then you grow on it during the game.
Edwin, these actually are cards. The cards are similar. The main cards of the game are similar to the size of baseball cards. They're a lot closer. The one that Dave showed here, this big one here, that is
it's a game board.
Yeah, it's basically a board.
Yeah. The cards, which we'll get to, they're the same size as...
The same size as like Magic the Gathering and Pokemon. Well, no, they're bigger than Pokemon, because Pokemon's smaller. Japanese cards are smaller.
Okay, I've never played Pokemon, so... but yeah, these are the same size cards as Magic. All right, so we have the 60mm cannon, +2 wild skill versus missions against Cobra transports, or reroll 1 die on other missions. Helipad 2, place 1 locus here at the start of the game, or when in hand during your turn. Locus here can join missions started with other transports. So it looks like we're going to have some special transports. That's nice. And it looks like you can pay to recruit to repair the flag. Or I mean, not the flag, the general.
And I agree, Shannon. They should come out with the game board for this game. It would help a lot. Unfortunately, because of all the different expansions, they add different elements. So I'm not sure how busy that Matt would be, or if it would be better to do separate ones for each expansion.
Okay.
But yes, it would definitely help. And play order, I mean, we still mess it up, and we've been playing this game like a lot. We like this game, and we still mess it up sometimes.
All right, and then we have an Intel supply here. And this is Intel missions. Once per turn, you may attempt an Intel side mission using any one skill before rolling. Choose the difficulty, easy. You gain 2 Intel medium. You gain 3 Intel hard. Gain 5 Intel. Okay. It costs 246.
And if you played the Raise the Flag campaign, here's the damage tokens for the flag. It looks like we've got them here, so they've added them to a separate game. So I'm sure they're going to matter in one of the boards. In fact, probably that first board that we looked at.
Well, that's probably... Well, that board is laid out.
Oh, okay. That's laid out. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like we get a couple locusts, which are probably cards in here.
Okay.
Okay, then we have these mission cards, which these are tarot size cards, so these are pretty big. Yep. We're not gonna open these up because this is part of the mission. We want to be surprised with the mission, but we will go over the different Joe cards.
So the way you actually win the game, Edwin, is those cards that Dave just showed here. These cards, you have to complete these missions, and you tend to most of the games have 3 missions.
There's,
Well, 9 missions total.
yeah, there's 3 acts.
3 acts,
Yeah,
and each act has 3 missions.
Yeah, you have to complete 9 of these cards. So there is, we don't have it with us right now, but there's what they call a threat meter. And every turn it's going to go up by 1. But if you go on missions, if you lose missions, like here, I don't know if you could see it. See the little triangle on the bottom?
Yeah.
This camera's not on yet.
Oh, okay.
So that means if we fail the mission, the threat meter goes up. And when you attempt the mission, you continue on whether you pass or fail. You have one chance.
Yeah, some of them will make you redo them if you fail, but that's normally like the last mission.
Yeah, or the end of an act or something.
But,
all right, so we're going to switch to the blow-up camera, and we're going to show off the cards. So let me see.
But as far as the killing characters, you have to do that to survive. That doesn't generally win you the game normally. It's just you have to keep, because there are, like, if you played cooperative games, there's a lot of ways to lose and generally only one way to win. And they have multiple ways to defeat you. So you do have to defeat them just so that you can continue to go and finish the missions. But
yeah. And then these are the Intel dice. So the game actually has dice. So kind of just to show off for people who are new, if we were going to attempt this mission here, each of the Joes have at least, except for the starting ones, have 1 or 2 skills. And that's the number of dice you get. So like here we have to get 3 recon. So say my character has...
Yeah, you need that many successes.
Let's
based
say
off of however many dice your characters give you.
We hardly ever would do this with only 2, but like if I had 2 in recon, then I would roll 2 dice, and I got 2 successes and 1 failure. So I actually would have failed the mission. If I had succeeded, the threat meter would have gone down by 2, and any one player may draw a card. If we fail, which we would have done, then the threat meter goes up by 2.
And I'm going to assume... Yeah, looking at these are similar to the dice in the base game, as they have, this is the failure symbol. They have 3 sides with failures. They have 2 sides with a single hit and 1 side with a double success.
Right.
So, but they're a different color, so I'm sure they have a different purpose.
Yeah, and then like we said, to go through the course of the game, you need to go through the deck of cards, which would be 9 normally.
And there is, as if you can see here, there is a lot more than 9 here. So right. There's a lot of replayability. You're not playing the same story over and over again.
I think they said there were 36, and there's 2 missions, so they're giving you options. So you build. There's certain cards you have to include, and then you randomize some cards to build the mission deck. So you could play the same scenario over and over, and you would get, a different game. Okay, so we got Jinx here. So let's open up so one of the things that makes, so we have a bunch of starter Joes, and we have some starting cards that we have that do different things there. But each player gets a unique leader. And so Jinx was one of the Joes in the base game, or now she's a leader. So if I chose Jinx as my leader, this would be my one unique card in my deck that Dirk would not have. And so she...
Because you're selfish.
Yeah, so she costs 0 because she's a starting card. 1 recruit. She's got a 3 in martial arts. And then the first time Jinx succeeds at a side mission each turn, she may immediately start a second side mission. So she's got similar to her power.
And most of these characters that you have leaders for, if they are in the deck at the beginning of the game, you remove them because you cannot have a leader and a standard Joe like Dave said.
Right.
So you'll actually remove them from the game.
And now what the stars are, so the Joes have 2 uses. So like you set them to a mission. So you have a transport. I don't know if we have any. Oh, we do have a transport. Okay.
So basically, this is the cost to recruit. This is a starting leader, so there's no cost. This is how much recruit they have so that you can be used to do other recruits. This is their skill set. And this one, a lot of them, starting leaders will have 1, but when you upgrade them, they get additional.
Right. And so the first thing you do is you pick it when you go on a mission, you pick a transport. And we'll read through this card later, but so this symbol here is the capacity. So I could have 2 Joes. So I could throw my Joe in, and if Dirk was playing this guy, which we'll go over him in a minute too, that's 2 Joes. we would have 2 dice in vehicle, 3 dice in martial arts. But if the skill was, say the mission was martial arts, and Dirk wanted to throw Major Storm in, he would give me 1 wild die, and we would ignore the 2 in vehicles that he provides. So we would have 4 dice, the 3 from Jinx, and then the 1 from Major Storm to try to attempt the mission. And we are at the capacity of the vehicle at this point. Okay, so we'll go over
And you
that.
see, a lot of the vehicles also have an ability as well that can be utilized, but there are limitations on some of those.
All right, but so
we'll get to those in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So one of the things you can do with your leader is, they have a promote. Oops, that got blurry. There we go. So you can spend 6 recruit to promote them to their promoted side. So this starts out of the game. And when you purchase a card, unlike other deck builders, the card goes on top of your deck instead of in your discard pile. So if I upgrade Jinx on turn 1, then on turn 2, she would be available because she'll be in my next hand. So the way a deck builder works is, once your turn is done, you discard your entire hand, even if there's cards you didn't use.
Yeah, most deck builders use that. Yes, that is. There's very few that don't.
Yeah. So Jinx, the promoted, so she provides 2 recruit now, and she's 4 in stealth, 3 in martial arts. So she would work really good with the Phantom because the Phantom provides stealth. But the first time Jinx completes a mission on each of your turns, she may immediately start a second mission. So that's Jinx.
Yeah, normally you can only use most Joes for a single mission.
Here, can you read that if it's over here?
Pardon?
Can you read that?
No. I cannot read it from here. I've got a glare.
Okay. So the next leader is Major Storm. He provides 1 recruit, 2 vehicles. If Major Storm starts a mission, you can repair. This is the repair symbol, which would be repair the general in this case, and reduce the cost of the next transport you buy this turn by 2. So he gives you a discount on transports. So that's pretty good. And he also repairs the general. You guys are okay.
Okay.
Then we've got the promoted Major Storm. He costs 6 because it costs 6 to promote. 2 recruit, 4 vehicles, 3 explosives. If Major Storm starts a mission, you could do repair twice. Reduce the cost of the next transport you buy this turn by 4 and draw a card.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Those drawings look great.
Yeah, it's talking about Larry Hama, who's the artist. I think he does. Does he do all of the art or just the majority of it? I think he might do all of it.
I don't know. It'd be in the rule book probably.
Here, I'll look. Let me see.
Oh, what was that beeping noise? Okay. Hopefully we're still broadcasting. All right. So then
Sounds like it.
there's multiple different card types. So one of the cards you can purchase are more Joes to improve your deck. So hashtag here, she costs 2. She provides 1 recruit, 2 recon. If hashtag starts an intel mission, plus 2 hits. So hits are, yeah, again, like Dirk had mentioned, that's the stars. So you would get a built-in 2 hits even before you roll the dice. Sightline, he's another Joe. 2, 1 recruit, 2 stealth. If Sightline is the only Joe on this mission, ignore the effects of the Cobra transports. So Cobra transports, going from the flag, I assume it's the same here, is they usually have 2 abilities. Yes. So if a Cobra has it, it'll provide an ability. Then, assuming the rules are the same as raise the flag, if you defeat the Cobra agent exactly, you gain the transport, which will then the Joes can use later on. What?
Okay, so if I'm reading this correctly, I'm going to say it is based on the artwork of Larry Hama because I do not see his name in the credits. We've got the credits here. We have several artists listed. Can you see that?
Maybe not.
But I do not see Larry Hama's name listed.
So they're probably
basing it off of his artwork.
My guess is, yeah, the Renegade probably has their own artists that they use, and they're just imitating his style. All right, so we got Tripwire here. 3 cost, 1 recruit, 4 in tracker. When Tripwire is on a story mission, you may discard 1 revealed complication from this mission and immediately draw another. So complications are when you
They're exactly that. They complicate things.
Yeah, they're so this card doesn't have it, but
they tend to get attached to the missions to make the mission harder.
Right, and then when you attempt to do the mission, then you get to find out the complications. You distribute them among the players. Some complications will just say like re-roll a hit or +1 difficulty. Those you do during the mission, but then some of them they have what's called side missions. I say like a rattler attack, and I've committed my forces for the mission. So Dirk goes, okay, I can take on the rattler. So then Dirk, on Dirk's turn, he would have to defeat the rattler attack mission, or usually like the threat meter will go up by 1 and it'll stay in front of you. You can have a limit of 2 missions in front of each person. All right. Clean sweep. And we do have, by the way, a Learn to Play G.I. Joe on the channel if you want to check it out. That'll give you some details. And we also have gameplays. We got a couple plays of Raise the Flag campaigns that we did, and then we have plays of the different expansions that have come out.
Except for this one. Well, yeah, we will have them.
Obviously not this one yet. All right, so we got Clean Sweep here. Cost 3, 1 recruit, 3 explosives. And now this has got a little plane symbol. That is an air transport. So if you are on an air transport and you're doing an air transport mission, then you get this bonus.
Yeah, you do have both of those conditions have to apply.
Right. So the story card will have symbols on it sometimes, not always, and then the vehicles have a symbol on them. So if we took the Phantom that we showed earlier and we were on an air mission, then we may re-roll up to 3 dice this mission.
I'll see if I can spot one in here real quick.
Oh, I thought we wanted to be surprised on those.
Well, we're not gonna look at the actual cards.
Okay, so here we got Fade Away. He costs 4, 2 recruit, 2 tech, 2 tracker. If you defeat this mission with exactly the number of hits needed, you gain 2 intel, which are the intel dice.
Okay, so here's what we're talking about. This means that it is an air transport mission, and this is the number of complications that you add to the mission.
Right, so that if you use an air transport and you had Clean Sweep, then you would get Clean Sweep's bonus. Okay. So there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through to get to that stage. But
put those back up so we don't get spoiled on them.
All right. Next we have Slipstream. He costs 4, 1 recruit, 3 tech, 2 vehicle. If an air transport is used on this mission, +1 wild. Now he does not have the symbol, so as long as you send an air transport, you would get the bonus, which is nice. Okay. The next Joe is Major Altitude. He costs 5 to recruit, 3 vehicles, 3 marksmen. If this mission fails, Major Altitude may attempt an intel mission without a transport and gains +1 intel if successful.
I don't know if I'd feel comfortable riding on that thing. That transport he's wearing. I don't know which one that is, but that's a scary looking one.
Okay, then
we have some really good seatbelts.
We have Recondo. He costs 5 to recruit, 3 tracker, 2 marksmen, and again land transport. If you have all those conditions met, you would get to draw a card. And then we got 2 more Joes.
More Joes? Okay.
Big Ben. He costs 6, 3 recruit, 4 explosives, 3 recon. He has no special abilities, but he's got a lot of dice.
Yeah, he's got 7 dice there total, so he's pretty good.
And then we have General Flag is a leader, but he's not a playable leader. Well, at least in this expansion, he is in another expansion. But
no, he's playable, but he's not.
He's not.
His ability isn't helpful outside of that mission.
He's not. Okay, I should rephrase that. He's not a starting. This one is not a starting leader.
Correct.
He costs 8, 4 recruit, 2 wild. Select up to 2 other Joes on this mission. Those Joes have wild skills equal to their highest skill instead of their printed skill. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Oh, what? That's right. He costs 8 and he only has 2.
Yeah, but oh wow,
that's good. He technically comes with 6 wild.
Okay, so that is one of the card types that are in the purchase deck. The next card type is transports. Now, when you purchase a transport, what's unique is instead of going into the top of your player deck like other cards you purchase, it goes in the hanger and then it's immediately available for somebody. So like if I purchase this and then Dirk decides to use it on his turn, once his turn is over, then it goes in the discard pile of his deck.
Yep.
because it's got to be repaired.
And there is a single transport in the game that you can use without it going into your deck. It's always available. But the majority of them will go into your deck whenever you've used them. And they have to cycle through until you draw them. And if you draw them, that's the first thing you do on your turn, is you put them back in the hangar.
Yeah, so the Vamp is what is a transport that's in the base game, and it's always available for every mission.
Yep.
So that way, if you are being unlucky, you don't have a lot of vehicles showing up in the purchase row, then you at least have something you can use to play the game.
Oh yeah, because if you didn't have that available all the time, it would be very, very difficult.
Okay, so here the first transport we have is the LCB Recon Sled. Costs 2. It has 1 capacity. It's a land transport. Plus 2 recon. If this transport is used for an intel mission, that mission automatically succeeds if at easy difficulty.
I'm kind of interested to see what these intel missions are because they have special dice. They're being specifically called out. So
yeah, and well, we saw there was 3 settings: easy, medium, and difficult. So yeah, that is interesting. And that each expansion, the nice thing with this, the one thing that I love about this game is each expansion has a very unique addition to the game. So the first one gave you a base that gives you a bunch of abilities. Then let's see what the second one was, and there's like these Cobra ninjas that shut the base down. Then
it had was that the one with the snow settings?
No, that's the third expansion.
Okay.
Yeah, but and then like they'll throw in things like the Dreadnoks or Snowblind, where you actually the world, this Cobra had encased the world in ice. And you actually didn't get to see what the next mission is.
Yeah, normally you have the mission that you're doing and the next mission, and you can see both of them, so you can kind of pre-plan a little bit. But with the Snowblind, you cannot pre-plan.
Yeah. Can you?
So we don't have the Transformer one. We have. I actually have.
Well, we do have the Transformer expansion. Yeah, that is on our channel.
Oh, the Transformer with the Joe. We don't have the Transformer game itself.
Yeah, we don't have.
We just have the crossover.
Yeah, they did do a Transformers for this game, and we played it, and we do have that up on the channel. Maybe I'll have to hunt. When I get through this, I'll post a link to the playlist in a minute. All right. But yeah, that's pretty fun because in the Transformers, they can either act as a transport or they go along with the Joes.
They act like a Joe, similar to a Joe.
Yeah, and they don't require a transport space because they're too big. All right, so we got the Conquest X30, costs 4, 2 capacity, air transport, plus 2 stealth, and then if the air symbols match up, then you also get plus 2 hits. Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder costs 7, 6 capacity, so that's pretty good. Land transport, plus 2 in explosives, and then the land transport symbol. When you start a group mission with this transport, defeat up to 2 side missions. Ooh, wow. That's pretty nice. We got the Locust, which is free. That's interesting. Oh, right. These are the ones that come on the journal. So these probably are not purchasable, I would assume. So yeah, it's free, 1 capacity. It's got the air symbol, plus 2 tracker. When on the journal, may join a mission started by a Joe using another transport.
Well, so the one Joe did actually have a reduction in costs on some of these, so that's why the others. Oh, there's 2 copies of the Locust.
Right, there's 2 locations on the journal to put a Locust, so I think they start on the
Oh,
journal.
You just meant the Locust specifically.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and also they would. Then again, once they're in the mission, they go in your discard pile. They got to cycle through. So when you have a hand and you draw transports, when you start the next turn, then you just place them in the hangar, or the Locusts, I assume you place on the general. And so you might have a smaller hand size that turn. Okay, now another card type is utilities. So now utilities and equipment are kind of unique. So utilities, this is analyze the data. It costs 2, 1 recruit. And then this little mission symbol here means that if you have a Joe on a mission, even if it's on another player's turn, then you can play this card. And one thing in this game, when you commit Joes or other cards to other, like let's say Dirk requests some assistance, I throw in a Joe, I throw in this card. When it's all done, said and done, it gets discarded in my discard pile, and the recruit is not available for me because I can't purchase cards on Dirk's turn. So I'm sacrificing my hand a little bit so that Dirk can complete the mission.
Now, Shannon's asking about playing a two-player game together or against each other. Is there a competitive thing that I missed so far?
There's no so the competitive. So this is a cooperative game, but there's one expansion where there's a possible traitor. Yeah, so we did play that. But we have games that most of the games on our channel have been cooperative, but we've been talking about expanding to do some more games and some competitive ones.
Yeah.
But we usually play cooperative. But yeah, we've been thinking of playing some different games that would be competitive.
Yeah, it's not like we don't ever play competitive games, but
we just usually don't on the channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, these are this is a good set so far. So analyze the data. Oh yeah, so the mission symbol. So like I could do this on Dirk's turn. So since it would be Dirk's turn, he could re-roll up to 2 dice. If this mission is an intel mission or against a Crimson Guard, he can re-roll up to 4 dice instead.
Did you mention the fact that for the mission you do have to commit a Joe to a mission to be able to use this?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
Otherwise, and then another type of utility card does not have the mission symbol, so I can only play this on my turn. I could not play this on Dirk's turn, unless a card in its text says you can, but normally they don't. This one costs 3, 1 recruit, gain 1 intel for each Cobra operative in play.
Okay, so this is telling me these are similar to the power dice.
Yeah,
to where you have to actually gain these, because the standard dice you start the game with them and they're always available. But in the Transformers expansion, there were what are they called? Power dice, I think is what they called them. That you had to earn.
Energon cubes.
Energon cubes. Yeah, you had to earn them to be able to use them. And it sounds like this might be the same thing. You have to earn the intel to be able to use these dice.
Right. Yeah, I'm assuming it's very similar.
Which that was kind of cool, but man alive, that was a little frustrating at times when you either had way more available market for it or economy for it than you needed, or you couldn't get it.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit swingy more, but...
Okay. The next one is called Blow Their Cover. It costs 4 to recruit. Defeat 1 Crimson Guard. Put a Cobra Battalion into play. So Cobra Battalions are from the base game, and you get 5 of them. The purchase row has got 6 cards. And if you ever need to put the 6... So when you put a battalion out, you actually cover up a card that's purchased, and you can't purchase the card until you defeat them. If all 6 purchasable cards get covered up by Cobra Battalions, that's one of the ways.
That's one of the ways. Yep.
One of the ways you lose the game.
Which is why Major Blood is one of my favorite Cobra leaders.
Yeah, Major Blood likes to bring.
He does that.
Battalions out.
That's what he does.
All right, we got Makeshift Tactics here. Costs 5, 3 recruit.
And he always comes back.
And again, this has the mission symbol, so I can play it on any mission, whether it's my turn or Dirk's. Destroy 1 card in your hand or discard pile. Add hits equal to that card's cost.
Ooh.
Oh, but you're nuking the big cards.
Well,
yeah,
but
still,
you can where that's cool is that gives you a little bit more incentive to purchase less expensive cards early on that you won't need later on. And sometimes we just let them sit there, because we don't really want them. But that gives you incentive to actually do that.
All right, so another card type is gear. So gear and utilities, they pretty much work the same. The reason they're distinguished is because, Lady J likes utilities, and Roadblock, I think it was, who likes gear.
Yep.
And Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. I love that game.
Let's see, a Crash Course video to do versus. We would have to see.
Are you talking about the versus card game? I don't own versus the card game from Upper Deck. Is that what you're referring to, possibly?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, it's kind of like Upper Deck's version of Magic. They had it for different IPs, but then there's like a big Marvel one where I think you can build groups. But yeah, I don't own that game, unfortunately, if that's what you're referring to. Okay, so the first gear we have is computer password. Cost 2, 1 recruit. It's got the mission symbol. Draw 1 card. If this is an Intel mission or Intel dice were rolled on this mission, draw 2 cards instead. So I'm guessing certain... Oh, yeah, because I think a couple of the Joes use the Intel. Just like a couple of the Transformers use the Energon cubes.
Yep.
Okay. Next is...
So I have not seen a competitive rule set for it because I'm not sure how that would work because the Cobra cards don't seem to like that they would make a very good deck. That there's a way to make a deck. So, I mean, I would have to look and see if somebody has some alternate rule sets for it. I'd be willing to try it.
Yeah. Well,
but I haven't seen one yet.
If I'm understanding what you're saying, with you and your brother, if you both like GI Joe, then you want to get the what is I'm trying to remember the name of the expansion. The one with
Silent?
Snake Eyes. Silent Interlude, yes.
Silent Interlude.
Because Silent Interlude has 2 missions. So one of them is a solo mission, but the second one is the one where there's a possible traitor. So you could play, you have these loyalty cards that you lay out, and you have to reveal them, or but you can, or they become revealed, and that's where you could pretend to be on your friend's side, and then you find out they were a traitor the whole time.
Well, yeah, but that's the one that's built native. I'll look and see if I can find some player content or whatever to do a competitive version.
Yeah. So what you want, if we're understanding correctly, is you'd want to play the Silent Interlude one with your brother.
Yeah, and then if we can find something online, some player content or whatever, I'll look to see if we can find something. We can try that too.
And you could probably use,
Head-to-head.
yeah. I don't know.
I'm sure somebody's done it.
I mean, you probably could throw in the other stories and use the silent, use the traitor mechanics, but I don't know if it would work as well because the mission cards are tuned specifically for that scenario.
Yeah.
But you probably could still use those rules with the regular, with like a base game scenario or something. Okay. Next, we have intelligence file. It costs 3, 1 star. Mission plus 3 wild skill. Treat dice added by this card as Intel dice. Oh, there you go. There's Intel dice right there.
Okay.
Body armor costs 4, 3 recruit. Mission. If one or more cards would be discarded from the player's hand or this mission, discard this card instead and draw 1 card from player's hands or this mission. Okay. So this can counter the captured.
Yep.
Which is Dirk's favorite. All right, we have a grenade launcher. Costs 5.
Can't believe it took this long to get a grenade launcher into the GI Joe game.
I think there was a grenade launcher already.
Was there one already?
Yeah, I believe so. Cost 5 to recruit. Defeat up to 2 Cobra battalions and or undercover Crimson Guards.
Wait, undercover Crimson Guards. Ooh.
Ooh, that's okay.
Ooh.
So that is all the player cards. Now we've got some new Cobra cards. So these are the Cobra transports that we were talking about. So this is the Crimson Command Copter. So this works similar to Raise the Flags. Like I said, when a Cobra has it, this red text applies. And then when we capture it, which we have to defeat the enemy by exactly, then we can use it as what?
No, the Joe get out of jail free card.
Oh, then it would provide two capacity plus 3 marksmen plus 3 vehicles in this case. But if Cobra has it, it's put 2 undercover Crimson Guards into play. If Tomax and Zaymot are in play, plus 3 difficulty. Otherwise, plus 1 difficulty.
So generally, the way these come into play is cards will bring out a Cobra character and will automatically place a random transport on that Cobra character. And if you defeat them normally, and you defeat them exactly with the exact number you need, then you gain control of their vehicle. Otherwise, it just gets discarded.
Right.
But there are ways to manipulate that. But generally, that's the way you do it. You have to defeat it exactly to gain control. And then once you guys have control, they'll go into the hangar, but as soon as they're used, instead of going to a player's discard pile, they will go to the Cobra discard pile so that they're once again available for Cobra at that point.
Right. Yeah, because like when you actually spend money for a vehicle, that's in the game forever. But this is just a a captured Cobra wreck that you've got temporarily. All right, we have the Rat, which is Cobra Transport Land, even though it's the swamp here. Attach 2 face down complications to this. Oh, interesting. And it's got a capacity of 1. If this mission succeeds, you may also discard a complication from the current story mission. Ooh.
Wow, that's interesting. So you get complications to, possibly like a trooper or something.
Well, or a battalion or something.
Oh, yeah, battalion. Troopers don't really get those.
Right. Okay, we have the Condor Z25. When starting this mission, lose 2 intel. And then it's got a capacity of 2. If there are 2 Joes on this transport, they may each attempt a different side mission, each with +2 wild skill. Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's funny. I don't know if anybody that's watching this has ever played the game Terratech, but I've actually designed the Condor in Terratech before. I couldn't fly it worth a flip. I was terrible at flying it, but I have designed it.
Okay, we have water moccasins. +1 difficult. If Copperhead is in play when you start this mission, each player on this mission gains 1 Cobra Trooper. So Cobra Troopers are cards that get shuffled into your deck, and then when you draw them, there'll be a side mission for you to deal with.
And if you don't like snakes, this is a bad card for you because there's all kinds of snakes mentioned on this one. Well, it's a Cobra, it's a water moccasin, and a Copperhead.
It's another snake men terrorist organization.
Yeah.
All right, so capacity of 3, +3 tracker, and if sea transport, +2 hits. All right, then we got the Hurricane. So the Hurricane is +1 difficulty. When starting this mission, put 1 Cobra battalion into play. It's got a capacity of 2, +1 hit, and air transport, +2 tech. And then we have I get some crazy ones here. The Buzzbore, +2 difficulty. If this mission fails, destroy 2 cards played during this mission. Ugh. And then the capacity of 1, the active player may destroy up to 2 cards in their discard pile.
So we've actually used stuff like this to our advantage before.
Yeah.
It's a good way to get rid of a starting card.
Yeah, especially at comms.
Yeah.
Oh no, comms wouldn't be on.
You can't use comms.
Comms wouldn't be
on
on the
you
mission.
get rid of your starting Joes. You can retire them. You don't kill them. You retire them.
Yeah.
Because and then you thank them for their service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you just trash them.
No.
All right. We have the Parasite. It's a +3 difficulty. If this mission fails, put 2 Cobra battalions into play. It's got a 5 capacity, +2 wild skill, land transports. After completing this mission, if it was this transport's first mission this turn, it may be used in a second mission. Oh, that's nice. So you can use it twice.
Oh, yeah.
Parasite's so nice, you can use it twice. It doesn't sound right. All right, so we have the CAT, not the cat, but the CAT.
It's still the cat.
Difficulty +1, and an additional +1 for each Crimson Guard in play. And it's got a capacity of 2, +2 explosives, and counts as +2 hits versus the Crimson
Cobra
Guard.
Artillery Transport. Right? I think that's what CAT stands for.
Yeah, I think so.
I think. I could be wrong. If you know, let us know.
The Hydro Sled. The required skill for this mission is vehicles instead of its printed skills.
Okay, that one looks fun now. The other one was scary. That one looks fun. I mean,
yeah, but you got.
And I've never hurt myself going down a mountain.
And you really like the voice of the guy on the left.
Yeah, oh no, I could do without that. I'll push him off.
All right, whatever you say, G.I. Joe.
All right, so it's 2 recruit, +2 vehicle, land transport, +2 wild skill. And then we have the Hammerhead, which was mentioned earlier. The Hammerhead is, if a sea transport is not used on this mission, +1 difficulty, and re-roll all hit results once. And it's got a capacity of 5, and a sea transport +3 explosives, and +3 stealth.
So, and as far as the mail away character cards, like promo cards and stuff, the only promos that I'm aware of with this game are the ones that come with the bonus boxes. which is something that we've got a bonus box for this that we'll be opening up here in a minute. But I don't know yet that Renegade's ever done
I don't.
individual promos for
So,
this.
and I believe really the main way to get the promo box, the bonus boxes, is when like I saw one in one of my local game store, but the bonus boxes are usually is when you pre-order. Well, I think and order.
Yeah, they generally tend to have enough of them.
From
They go
Renegade's,
beyond pre-order.
yeah, from Renegade's web page itself. I have all the bonus boxes. I have the bonus box for each expansion except for the Transformers ones because I didn't grab that one when it first came out, and
I don't think those are available anymore.
yeah, they're not available anymore.
Yeah, well, they tend to they print one run of them and they're available as long as they're available. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, sometimes there's special characters, or they'll have like a bigger like a nice 3D version. Like the base game had a 3D hanger,
Yeah.
and you'll get like a 3D version, better quality of the pop-ups. Like we got a dice tower for one of them.
Yeah. Now the special characters. I mean, like I said, you could probably find some player-made content with some special characters and stuff that you'd have to print yourself. We tend to not do a lot of that because there tend to be balance issues with a lot. I mean, I've run across some player-created characters for some games that are wonderful, but a lot of times there tend to be balance issues. They're either too strong or too weak.
Yeah.
It's hard to find player characters that tend to fit really well.
All right. The next card type is called a complication. So these get added to the main mission usually, and they're face down. And then when you do attempt the mission, you flip them face up and find out what happens. So the first one is called blending in. Lose one intel the next time an undercover Crimson Guard enters play. One additional enters play, and I don't know if you can see it very well. That there's a little one in. So there's 3 acts. There's Act 1, 2, and 3. So this is an Act 1 complication. So this would get shuffled in with your other Act 1 complications.
I like that outfit. Is that a red bow tie on there? I can't see.
No, that's a Crimson Guard uniform.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a bow tie. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Okay. Armed and dangerous. Put 1 Cobra transport into play. If there is no legal target, add 1 Cobra battalion to the lineup and equip that transport to them. We're used to this card from Raise the Flag.
Yeah.
So they're bringing in some elements for Raise the Flag into the base game now, which is amazing. Stolen intel. Lose 2 intel.
Ooh, that could hurt.
Yeah, that's. We're assuming that's 2 dice. Okay, so this is sabotage again. So this would just be 2 damage gets applied to the general.
How much damage did the general take? Do you remember?
Like 4 or 5, I think.
Is it 5 like it was for Raise the Flag?
There's 4.
4 damage. Okay, you
There's
can take
4
4
locations. Yeah, but
yeah, generally the.
But repairing is a lot easier than the flag because you can actually just spend 2 coins to repair. So
Yeah, but that if you're using in this case
the general.
the general, do you use it like as a transport, or it just means you don't have the availability of the items?
You can't use the locations.
Can't use locations. Okay, so it's closer to the ones from the first expansion.
Disabled when damage is 4 plus 3 plus. I'm not sure what disabled. So there's a disabled condition. Which
Yeah, so
we'll have to look it up because
Yeah, we'll figure that out as we go.
disabled when cockpit is disabled. So yeah, we'd have to read the rules. All right, we have scrap iron appears. So this would bring in the Cobra leader scrap iron, and this is an Act 2. So it just says put scrap iron into play. Copperhead appears. He shouldn't be that hard because he's named after a vehicle, right?
Do what?
Put Copperhead into play.
We haven't seen what Copperhead does yet, so I'm a little scared.
They're coming up. They're everywhere. Story mission. After this mission, put any combination of 2 Cobra battalions and or undercover Crimson Guards into play. That's another Act 2 card. Now we're moving on to Act 3. And Zarana appears. So now we're getting some of the dreadnoughts. Put Zarana into play. And there is an expansion that has all the dreadnoughts. That's pretty cool. So you can have Zartan and his friends. The Crimson Threat story mission. After this mission, after this mission, put 2 undercover Crimson Guards into play and equip Cobra transports to them.
So wait a minute. The Crimson Guard, aren't they allies in one of the games?
No,
Nope. Hold on. Who am I thinking?
I don't. You're thinking of the Crimson Guard, the Russian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Crimson Guard. I think.
That's what I thought.
No,
No.
that's not the Crimson
I
Guard.
don't remember which faction he was with.
I don't remember. But he was with the
Soviet.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
A melodramatic entrance.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Put Cobra Commander into play and equip a Cobra transport with him. So yay, another way to get Cobra Commander in.
That's all we need.
All right,
At
then
least it's not Major Blood.
we have Tomac and Zaymot, which are different than the ones from the flag. So they have a difficulty 8, any one skill. At the end of each round, put 1 undercover Crimson Guard into play or draw 1 complication. And and the story mission gets +3.
So I kind of wonder what we're going to do with this, because one of the thoughts that we've had is we haven't done it yet, but we're planning on taking all of the expansions and kind of trying to combine them as best we can. But like in cards like this, so you've got Tomax and Zaymot, and they're 2 separate cards in the other game, but they're combined here.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing a...
So we'd have to figure out how we do things like
doing
that.
a progression. So I would say that the cards that come with, the specific expansion would take precedence,
Okay.
That would just... And I would do probably the flag last, I would think, actually. So these guys would be around until we do... But if you choose the other mission, where if you don't do the... Because you have in the flag, you have a choice of which mission you do.
Yeah.
So, like, if we go after the other guy instead, what is that? That's the Swamp Gator guy, I think, right? I can't remember.
Crockmaster?
Yeah, I think that you choose Crockmaster instead. Then, then you could use that Tomac and Zaymot, I guess, or this one could stay. Zorana. All right, so she's 5 stealth and tracker. At the start of each group mission, discard cards from the main deck until you discard a Joe. At the end of each round, draw 1 face down complicated. Oh yeah, we're in the Cobra leaders now.
Yeah, so this one was like this will use a stealth and tracker, but the next one we've got here is an or, so you would have to choose which one you're using. This one you can use both.
Right. Scrap Iron, difficulty 4, explosives or marksman. At the start of each player's turn, they must discard a card.
Oh yeah. And wait a minute, hold on. Obey. Okay.
Okay. Then we have Copperhead. For in vehicles, at the start of each group mission, roll 1 die. If you roll a blank, +1 difficulty. If you roll a single hit, discard a Joe from the mission. If you roll a double hit, discard 3 cards from the main deck. So one of the ways you lose the game is if the main deck runs out.
Ouch.
All right, so now we have the new Joe minions, or Cobra minions, for this particular set. The Undercover Crimson Guards. So they 2 in any one skill. While this is in play, roll 2 fewer mission dice against group missions. May only attempt this mission with intel dice. Oh, and it's a side mission? Yep.
Yeah, it's a side mission.
Wow. Okay, yeah, so they would be assigned to a player. But yeah, while they're in play, you're going to roll 2 fewer mission dice, which would be the normal base game green dice, against group missions. And you can only use these dice, which would be harder to acquire, against him. And I think I just blurred the image. Yep, I did. Sorry about that.
You broke it.
I broke it. Come on. Focus.
October Guard. That's right. I knew it's something.
Yeah,
Guard.
October Guard. Thank you very much. Come on, focus, camera. Come on. I know you can do it. There you go. Don't quit on me yet. Oh yeah, so we have 4 Crimson Guards. So now another card type is these expert mode cards. And when we do our progression, we're going to be using a lot of expert mode cards, because that's what they say. They say you can combine expansions, but you have to use expert mode cards, because each expansion gives you something super cool. And, there's some bad stuff too. But if you're going to start piling in all the super cool add-ons,
like the pets.
The
pets are wonderful.
The pets, but like you got the mission that you can where you got the base. You could have the base going up against a bunch of things. So you have to use the expert mode
And
cards.
you have the towable assets.
Right.
Those are pretty
Towable
cool.
assets are really good, yeah. But so these makes the game harder, and they are not all rated the same. Like one of the ones in the base game is you add a Cobra Trooper to your starting deck. Woo! Once it's gone, you've taken care of it. But this would be the increase the difficulty of all Intel missions by 2. So this would stay out for the entire game. So all Intel missions now get a +2 difficulty.
Yeah.
And this one is when a story mission enters play or a Cobra officer is defeated, you're going to damage the general.
Ouch.
Yeah, and there's going to be 9. Well, you start with one. Oh, no, you don't start with one, actually. So, yeah, there'd be 9 damage minimum just from the story missions.
Yeah.
And then when you have the defeat. Oh, wow. So, yeah, that one's
tough.
That one's tough. Okay, so I'm kind of curious.
Do we want to go into that, or do we want to play with the bonus box?
Oh, yeah, we'll open the bonus box here in a second. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do the bonus box.
Let's see. I have no idea what's in the bonus box.
If the bonus box might defeat Dave here.
Yeah, I think it has.
There he goes.
All right. So the Crimson Veil bonus box comes.
Hey, there's Junkyard on the back.
Huh?
Junkyard on the back. See?
Oh, yep. All right. So so it's
Ooh.
got a nice thicker general.
Yeah, to where it's actually got compartments instead of just having to put stuff on.
Yeah, so
That's nice.
It's got places to put dice. So this is a location 2 apparently. But so it's vehicle bay. When this is empty, the vehicle bay is 1 as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't think this is a location. I think you just track damage separately.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So when this is empty, you may move 1 land transport from the hangar to here. On missions using the general, you may deploy it as an additional transport, even after the mission has started. Afterwards, discard it.
Oh, that's nice. You can add it in later if you need it.
Yeah, because like there's certain transports can give you like wild dice. So it's like, that was off camera. There we go. So that's the top we were reading.
Or they would some of them also allow you to add additional Joes potentially.
Yeah, but like say the triple T where you can get like +3 wild. It's like so you can roll 3 more dice and he succeeded. So the triple T would go in your discard pile, but you succeeded in the
box?
mission. What?
What's in the box? The reference from 7 Deadly Sins, right? I think it's 7 Deadly Sins.
I don't know. Helipad 1. So yeah, this is where we place one of the locusts here at the start of the game, or when in hand. Okay, so yeah, so there it is specifically talking about. So that's why they cost 0 is because these cards are just they will have to cycle through your deck, but at worst you're 1 card short. But they have a location that they go to. And then during your turn, Locust here can join missions starting with other transports. And disabled when damage is 4+.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Oh, so there's... Oh, I get it.
Depending on how much damage certain locations get disabled, it sounds like.
Okay, instead of putting specific damage on them, it's based on the damage level. Okay, and that's where you could put the damage markers on there, probably.
Do they fit? They do not quite fit.
No. Well, the cards don't fit either. The 60mm cannon is +2 wild skill versus missions against Cobra transports, or re-roll 1 die on other missions, and disable when there's 3 or more damage. And there's Helipad 2, which is the same thing, except it's disabled when damage is 6. So it looks like 6 is probably the cap. And then the cockpit is transports, land capacity 8, +2 explosives, +2 wild skill. You may roll 2 fewer dice to discard 1 revealed complication from this mission. After this mission,
deal 2 damage.
Deal 2 damage.
Oh, ouch.
Okay, so you could use this as a transport. Oh, okay. All right. Well, so that was G.I. Joe Crimson Veil unboxing. Really looking forward.
Is that all that was in the box?
Yeah.
It's just the one piece?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's normally have at least 2 things.
The later ones, that's what they've been doing. I like the earlier ones where you got additional Joes leaders and stuff like that, but they've been like the last one was was the dice tower, which it's nice. It's
Oh yeah, we've used the heck out of the dice.
but I'm missing the days of the extra
the bonus commanders. And
the
stuff,
bonus
yeah.
commanders and stuff. Yeah. And then this is the Intel mission here.
Oh, that was in the box too.
Yeah. No. Well, this was in the.
Oh, that's in the base game.
The base game box.
Oh wow, they got a thick one in the base
The
game.
expansion box. Yeah.
Okay.
Once per
Oh,
turn,
yeah,
you may
expansion,
attempt an Intel side mission using any one skill before rolling. Choose a difficulty. So this is when they talked about the difficulties. So this is a way to gain more Intel dice. If you have hits equal to the next difficulty or more, you may discard one card with the recruit to gain that reward instead. Oh, okay. So if you do easy and you get medium results to get an extra Intel die, you just.
Well, that's interesting though. You choose the difficulty as you do it.
Well, you choose the difficulty before you roll it.
Right. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
yeah.
I mean, but you can change that each time.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I like that.
Okay. Just seeing if there's anything that stands out. You would gain another nothing happens. Oh yeah, so they take if you would get 7 damage markers on the general, nothing happens. When you resolve the symbol, the repair symbol, you can repair damage. Cobra transports. Oh, see the back cover for the full rules. Yeah, same thing, same rules, exact number.
Yeah, for the cover transports to take it.
Yeah. Undercover Crimson Guards.
Yeah, I mean,
Count
on
as
the
side
surface
missions?
they don't sound as bad, but I think they're pretty bad.
Oh, they are not attached to the story mission, and they are not assigned to players. So they're side missions that any player can go after.
Okay, they're just general side missions.
They're
Okay.
general side missions, so they don't count against each player can only have 2.
The 2 per player. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Probably. Oh well, actually, that could be a bad thing too.
But yeah, because they have a effect that messes with the game.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, you're right, Shannon. That, I do. I love choices like that.
interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that was Crimson Veil expansion. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm glad it came before we are going to be gone. So we will be. We're going to take this on the cruise with us for people that are familiar with our channel already. So we're hoping we'll get some gameplays definitely on that. We've got some friends that are really into G.I. Joe that we'll meet up with.
Yeah. In fact, we're in the middle of a campaign that we're going to be picking back up.
Yeah, we're in the middle of
Yeah.
a Raise the Flag campaign with a couple, but I was thinking of there's a couple other ones too
Oh, yeah.
that really love G.I. Joe. And so we'll definitely be bringing that on the ship. Yeah, and we will do full, because we're probably not going to record full playthroughs there, but Dirk and I definitely will do a playthrough with each mission.
Yeah.
When we get back.
Yep.
So you'll be able to see gameplay of that. And like I said, we do have. While you chat with the group for a second, I'm going to find.
What you doing?
I'm going to find the link. I forgot my Bluetooth connection,
Okay.
so I have to do this manually. So I'm going to find the link to the playlist here.
Well, okay. Well,
Oh,
yeah, you covered up the chat.
well, you got your phone.
Okay, fine. Let's see. Whoops. What do I do with this? Yeah. So what are you trying to find the link to? The link to the channel? Is that what you're doing?
The link to
Well,
the
the playlist.
the GI Joe playlist.
Oh, okay. That's what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
yeah. No, Shannon. Yeah. I mean, if you're interested to see how any of the individual games play, different scenarios with them, and the components or whatever, yeah, we've got pretty much we've gone through, I think, at least one of every scenario and game out there.
We've done. Yeah, we've done.
I think we've done all of them on the channel so far up to that's been released up to this point. Including we had some of the earlier ones were 3 players because we had a friend James who used to play a lot of games on the channel with this, but he had to move. Might be moving back eventually, but it's going to be probably a little while because he had to move to help with family. So,
Okay.
But
let's see if this works.
yeah, and so since then it's been mostly 2-player that we played on the channel.
All right. So there's the link to the GI Joe playlist.
I'm up for it. I'm up for it, Shannon.
What?
To take the idea of doing a big free for all, basically, Joe the Joes and Autobots versus Cobra and Decepticon. So
Oh,
try to. Well, like I said, I'll see if I can find some rules that work to do a head to head.
yeah. I assume you're referring to the Transformers deck building game as well, or just the Autobot Transformers expansion.
I don't know that the two games themselves, because of the way the locations work.
Oh, thank you for checking out some of our videos. We appreciate that.
All right, so I
Yeah.
think that's kind of everything we had for this one. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to the Intel and being able to play with the extra dice because I mean, math rocks. You gotta love it. More dice, the better. In fact, if I'd have known there were more dice in this, I would have worn my dice shirt.
His dice shirt that says you
You
can always have too many dice.
No, you can never have too many dice.
Oh,
Said no
never
one
have
ever.
too-
No one ever. Because I've never said that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm sad because I don't have enough dice, and I've probably only got about 2 or 3 like big dice bins full of dice, and I don't have enough.
Yeah.
And I don't even really play too many RPGs anymore. I don't have the time.
Yeah, I've seen some really cool RPG dice. If I was
Oh, yeah.
There's like ones that are LED.
I've got
dice.
LED dice.
Oh, well, yeah, but of all the different ones and that charge.
No. Mine are only D6.
Oh, yeah, no, there was these, yeah, the round ones. I got a
Yeah.
pair of those. No, but this was like a full set of D&D dice that glow different colors when you roll them and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
They've got them there. They're like USB chart.
yeah, they got
key charging.
they got
and
a
stuff.
charger case that you have to
Yeah,
put them back in
yeah,
the
I've seen those.
exact right spot.
I thought about those, but then I saw the price tag, and I'm like, I think I'd rather eat dinner and maybe make a car payment too.
Yeah, well,
So-
I haven't played D&D in quite a while.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, appreciate everybody who was on the chat. Thank you very much. And like we said on one of our other videos, we got like one more, probably one or two more before we leave for the cruise. But we're kind of slowing down for the holidays.
Yeah,
This was just that this showed up on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it showed up. You called me Christmas Eve and said it showed up. So.
Right, yeah, and so I definitely want to have. I got my cards sleeved by specific colors based on what type of card they are.
Yeah, we won't make you watch that. That's boring.
No, but I want to have those sleeves so when we're so I don't have to do that on board the ship.
Because with the holidays and everything else, we're probably not going to be getting a playthrough done before the cruise, but we'll definitely get one after.
Yeah, that's up to you.
Yeah.
But I probably have some time, but I don't think Dirk does.
No, I don't really have a lot of time.
All right. Now I'm taking up part of his lunch. So, all right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us, and we
Look forward to seeing you and
seeing you in a future.
sharing some games.
Yep, and we are going to try to do some more live streaming. That's on our list of things to do for 2025.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out the logistics of how we're going to actually live stream a game. Something a little bit bigger than some of the smaller games.
It doesn't have to be a game. It could just be.
No, I want to do a couple of them,
but I kind of want to do some.
I don't want to be a main thing on it.
Yeah, I want to do some theme episodes maybe too. Like
nice.
we could do a Marvel Champions one. We could do a GI Joe one. Or just general gaming. But yeah, I mean, it takes like 2 or 3 hours to play a game of this. So
Yeah.
Plus.
Like I said, it would be something we do. We wouldn't do live streams of a game too often, but
No.
And we would definitely probably need somebody here to actually watch chat for us because generally we've tried just watching chat when we're doing things. It doesn't work real well.
Yeah,
We're too involved in the
everybody,
game.
and I'm glad everybody.
Yeah.
We don't we want to chat with you. We don't want to have to police you. So, so no, everyone was really good. So we had one chat where there were some people that were kind of out of control. So we had to figure out the moderating and stuff. So I'm glad we didn't have to do that.
They were definitely a little feisty in that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, thank you everybody, and we will see you later.